allow Shatta Wale to feel free. A Shatta Wale can never murder me. He is never lyrically good like me.
If you watched our Shatta Wale story, you already know his name. You saw the gun. You saw the chaos. But you only heard one side of it. This is the other side. This is the story of the boy from a shy man who lost his twin brother, lost his mother, built an entire nation of fans out of nothing, and became one of the most respected reggae and dancehall voices in the world. This is the story of Stonebwoy.
The almighty street beat.
His real name is Livingstone Ed Sotekla, born on the 5th of March, 1988, in Ashaiman, a tough working-class suburb of Accra. He was the fourth of 7 children, born to a father, a pastor by the name of Reverend Sotekla, and a mother named Catherine, a woman he has spoken about with so much love over the years. Stonebwoy was actually born a twin, but tragically, his twin brother passed away in infancy, long before either of them could grow up together. That loss was only the first of 2 separate tragedies tied to his childhood, and for years, many people in Ghana mistakenly assumed both were connected to the same event, a mix-up Stonebwoy has had to personally correct in interviews more than once. The second tragedy came years later, on the 19th of January, 2003, when 13-year-old Ed was traveling with his father along the Tima motorway. A police vehicle veered across from the opposite lane and slammed into their car, and in that crash, Ed suffered severe, permanent damage to his right leg. He was rushed to Korabu Teaching Hospital, where he was the youngest and smallest patient in the entire accident ward, and stayed there for 6 months recovering, with his mother sleeping on the hospital floor beside him for 3 of those months. The injury forced him to miss his basic education certificate examination that year, and at one point, doctors even considered amputating the leg entirely. He has said publicly that growing up as a naturally active young boy and having to accept that reality brought years of ridicule from people around him. But he refused to let it stop him. He retook his exams, passed with excellent grades, and earned admission into Methodist Day Secondary School anyway, all while working with a knee that simply would not bend properly for years to come. Even before the accident, young Ed had already started primary and junior high school right there in Ashaiman, at Ajaranyako School Complex, and something in him was different from the start. By his 4th year in primary school, he was already writing scripts and acting in drama pieces for his school. Words came naturally to him, and it wasn't long before those words turned into rhythm. At Methodist Day Secondary School, in a twist most fans don't even realize, he was classmates with a boy who would go on to become one of Ghana's biggest rappers, Sarkodie. While still in secondary school, Ed released his very first song to ever hit the radio, a track called Makuma, Meaning My Heart. It got airplay, but almost nobody knew who he really was yet. In 2007, right around the time he was finishing high school, he dropped another song called Empress, and that one gave him his first real taste of local recognition. But the moment that truly changed his life came through a rap battle competition on Adam FM called Kosohori Level. Motivated by his family to enter, young Ed went up against seasoned rappers, including names like Sarkodie and Dr. Crime, and he didn't just compete, he won, knocking out opponent after opponent and building real underground buzz across Accra. That rap battle victory caught the attention of a man who was already a giant in Ghanaian dancehall, Somini. In 2008, Somini signed the young rapper to his label, Somini Music, later known as High Grade Family, and gave him the stage name that would define his entire career, Stonebwoy. Under Somini's wing, Stonebwoy recorded his first real hit single, Climax, featuring Somini himself. Followed by Ghetto Love, featuring Irene Logan. Both songs earned him nominations at the Ghana Music Awards, and for 4 solid years, Stonebwoy grew and learned under one of the biggest names in the industry. But like most young artists with big dreams, Stonebwoy eventually wanted to build something that was entirely his own. He left Somini Music and founded his own label, Banitan Music Group, positioning himself not just as an artist, but as a CEO. In March of 2012, timed perfectly with Ghana's Independence Day and his own birthday weekend, he released his debut album, Grade No. 1, featuring the fan-favorite tracks Climax, Rat Race, Rude Girl.
After the rude girl them, and a bad girl them. Yeah.
Pull Back, and Crazy. It was the true beginning of Stonebwoy as his own man, no longer just Somini's protege. His sophomore album, Necessary Evil, released the following year, took things even further, earning him 3 Ghana Music Awards from 6 nominations. In 2014, he swept 2 awards at the Bass Awards, taking home Dancehall Song of the Year and Best Dancehall Collaboration, and by 2015, Stonebwoy had become one of the biggest names in the entire country. That year alone, he won Artist of the Year at the Ghana Music Awards, and internationally, he claimed the Best International Act Africa Award at the BET Awards, becoming one of the very few Ghanaian dancehall artists to ever hold that trophy. Around this same period, he branded himself as the Prince of African Dancehall, and adopted the now iconic ad-lib Bhim, a chant that would go on to name his entire fanbase, Bhim Nation. From there, the hits just kept coming. Go Higher, Run Go,
Whoa, tell me where we gonna run go. After making our motherland a better place to live.
Hero,
If I die today, if I die today, I'm a hero.
My Name, Critical, Maitalil, African Party, Bowasoba,
Together, but you put my life in danger. I never know you and I will be over. Bowasoba.
Tough Seed, Pull Up,
Hot, only the dragon like Cisco.
Yeah.
Remember we are run up the disco.
Me say that tune,
Sobolo, Lujibiebe, and Bofera, featuring Sarkodie and Style OG, all became anthems blasting out of speakers across Ghana and beyond.
them, I know them where we are work with. Bafira. La la li la lo, la la li la lo le. Bafira.
In 2020, he teamed up with South African producer DJ Mafraisa on the dancehall Mapiano fusion track Apotic. And he later dropped One God as its own standalone anthem. A title that would go on to become one of his most repeated nicknames. Stonebwoy has always been known for something most Ghanaian artists don't do, singing large portions of his songs in authentic Jamaican patois, a skill that earned him real respect from the Caribbean dancehall community itself, not just from fans back home. Fame brought love too. Stonebwoy married Dr. Louisa Onsong, a dental surgeon and fashion entrepreneur, in 2017, and the two have built a life together ever since, welcoming their first child, a daughter named Catherine Jijola, and later a son named Janom Wakim. But that same year, 2017, also brought one of the most painful chapters of his life. During his Ashaiman to the World concert, Stonebwoy's wife was violently attacked amid the chaos of the event, an incident he has since said left a trauma he has never fully gotten over, one that would resurface in the most explosive way just 2 years later. Musically, Stonebwoy kept climbing. His album Episodes of Mama in 2017 pushed him onto the Billboard charts, a rare feat for a Ghanaian dancehall artist at the time, and along the way, he collaborated with major names across the continent and beyond, including Davido, Burna Boy, and Jamaican dancehall stars like Popcorn, Busy Signal, and Collybots. His connection to Jamaica went even deeper than features. He received an official Grammy plaque for his role as a featured performer on Morgan Heritage's Grammy-nominated single Avracadabra, and in 2021, 3 different albums he appeared on were nominated for the Grammy Awards, cementing his place as one of Africa's most respected voices in reggae and dancehall. Along the way, he also picked up 2 official Billboard plaques and a Golden Club plaque from Boomplay for crossing 100 million streams on the platform. Then came the night that changed how the whole country saw him, for better or worse. At the 20th anniversary edition of the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards in 2019, Stonebwoy was announced the winner of Reggae Dancehall Artist of the Year. As he made his way to accept the award, Shatta Wale and members of his entourage moved toward the stage, and in the chaos and confusion that followed, Stonebwoy pulled out a gun. Pandemonium broke out. Security scrambled, pepper spray filled the air, and the live broadcast was cut for nearly an hour as organizers tried to regain control. In the aftermath, Stonebwoy explained that his instincts took over, later connecting his reaction directly back to the trauma of watching his own wife attacked at his concert 2 years earlier, saying the fear and vigilance from that night never really left him. Both Stonebwoy and Shatta Wale were arrested, charged, and granted police bail, with Stonebwoy specifically facing charges of using an offensive weapon and displaying a firearm in a public place without permission. Charterhouse, the organizers of the awards, responded by stripping both artists of every award they had won that night and banning them indefinitely from the scheme, a ban described as lasting pending good behavior. It was one of the darkest nights in the history of Ghanaian entertainment, and it followed Stonebwoy's name for years afterward, no matter how much good work he did next. Not every fallout in Stonebwoy's career has been with a rival. Some of it happened inside his own camp. In January of 2018, he signed a promising young Afrobeat singer named Kelvyn Boy to Bonneton Music Group, mentoring him into one of the label's fastest rising stars.
Now you there for my high. Yeah. Baby, many girls them come.
But by the middle of 2019, the relationship had completely broken down. Stonebwoy publicly branded Kelvyn Boy ungrateful and disrespectful. The label declined to renew his contract, and by September of that year, the split was made official. Kelvyn Boy fired back publicly too, accusing Stonebwoy of using what he called mafia tactics to turn the Ghanaian public against him and damage his career. Years later, Stonebwoy went even further, claiming in an interview that his own life had actually been threatened during that period by Kelvyn Boy and members of his crew, though he stopped short of laying out the full details publicly, pointing instead to his colleague D-Black and promoter Popology as people who know what really happened. Kelvyn Boy has spent years since publicly trying to make peace, but as of his most recent comments, Stonebwoy has made it clear he doesn't see that relationship ever being repaired. Ironically, Kelvyn Boy has said the whole fallout ended up boosting his own career, joking that it's actually what truly made him a household name. And Stonebwoy kept working. His 2020 album Anloga Junction, named after his ancestral hometown in the Volta region, built on his global momentum, landing him on the Billboard charts again with the Carrie Hilson-assisted single nominate.
You are gonna nominate my #1 candidate. This your love, they carry everywhere. Don't keep me waiting.
Then the solo record Therapy in 2022. His 2023 album, Fifth Dimension, became one of his most commercially successful projects yet, earning him major wins at both the Ghana Music Awards and the International Reggae and World Music Awards, and supporting a tour of more than 90 shows across multiple continents. He didn't slow down heading into 2024 and 2025 either. His album Up and Running 6 dropped in October of 2024, and he followed it with a full North American and European tour in early 2025, playing cities across the United States and Canada before capping the run with a sold-out show at the O2 Shepherd's Bush Empire in London. Over the summer of 2025, he headlined major festivals across Germany, Switzerland, and even Jamaica itself at the Dream Weekend Festival, before releasing a brand new EP called The Torture in September of that year, featuring tracks like Giddy Giddy,
Because I don't do giddy 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 giddy. Don't see me like a fool because I don't do giddy 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 giddy.
Send Them a Prayer.
See them ask me how me do me thing. Positivity and my heart is clean. Me never jealous another.
And Saman Kudi.
Saman Kudi. Everybody know me a big guy man, yeah.
Then, right at the start of 2026, the old rivalry came roaring back to life. On the 23rd of January, Stonebwoy released a new single called Silent Samurai.
All of them dead, all of them dead,
Me on the beat,
all of
so
them dead.
it's a banger.
Samurai, all of them dead. Ah boy.
And although he never mentioned any name directly, fans and critics across Ghana immediately read it as a subliminal shot fired straight at Shatta Wale. The song shot straight to the top of the charts, and within days, Shatta Wale responded, not with one diss track, but with a whole run of them, including Big Like That.
Who make them the king? Big like that, big like that, big like them. Never famous in a fan.
And Settings.
When everybody know how the thing start, that boy they gonna say Shatta Wale is always right, always right.
Then I
Which Gad.
which God that? Because my God me know make me top chat. Which God that? Because in my wife.
Each one aimed directly back at Stonebwoy. As of this video, the two are once again trading shots publicly, prove that even years after the VGMA incident, this rivalry has never fully gone away, and honestly, it might never really be over. His knee never really stopped being part of his story either, and for years, his own mother actually stood between him and fixing it. While she was alive, Stonebwoy repeatedly wanted to have the knee surgically corrected, and just as repeatedly, his mother told him to leave it alone, insisting he should accept it as it was rather than risk tampering with it further. Out of respect for her, he held off, year after year, walking with that same stiff, unbending leg the whole time. His mother passed away in July of 2015, and it was only after losing her that Stonebwoy finally decided to go through with it, traveling to Germany in May of 2016 for a total knee replacement. He has said openly that he knew he was going against her wishes by doing it, but that he believed she would have been proud of him anyway. That surgery didn't come cheap either, and Stonebwoy has since publicly and gratefully credited former Black Stars football captain Asamoah Gyan for helping fund it, a gesture he says he will never forget. Even after the surgery, the knee has continued to need care and attention. In 2025, midway through a North American tour, he actually had to cancel the Toronto and Edmonton legs of the run after slipping on a staircase and re-injuring the same knee, requiring emergency medical attention in Europe before he could get back on his feet. And despite everything his body has been through since he was just 13 years old, in 2024, Stonebwoy graduated with a second-class upper degree from the Ghana Institute of Management and Professional Studies, proving that the same determination that kept him walking kept him growing too. It's worth remembering, given everything his leg has actually cost him, just how deep of a low blow it was back in 2018 when Shatta Wale released No Mercy for the Cripple, a song widely believed to mock this exact injury. Away from the stage, Stonebwoy has quietly built one of the most consistent philanthropic footprints of any artist in Ghana. He established the Livingstone Foundation, which has sponsored school fees and educational support for students, including students at his own alma mater, Tima Methodist Day Senior High School. In interviews, Stonebwoy has revealed that his own school fees were once paid using insurance money, an experience he says directly inspired his passion for giving back to young people in similar situations today. In 2022, Vodafone Ghana even recognized him for using his music to raise environmental awareness, awarding his song Greedy Men a cash prize for its message about sustainability. Through his Bhim Festival, an annual homecoming concert, and his continued support for young Ghanaian talent, he has built a reputation not just as a dancehall king, but as a genuine community figure. What makes Stonebwoy's story so compelling is the contrast between the man on the news and the man behind the music. The public remembers the gun, the arrest, the ban, the years of tension with Shatta Wale. But dig deeper, and you find a man who lost his twin brother and his mother far too early, who fought his way up from an underground rap battle on the radio, who has spoken openly about industry relationships, once saying plainly that there are no true friends in this business, but respect still remains, and who has never stopped putting real resources back into the community that raised him. He is loved as a lyrical powerhouse who represents Ghana on the biggest stages in the world, and he is criticized by some who can't separate him from that one chaotic night in 2019. Both of those things live inside the same man, and that tension is exactly what makes his story worth telling in full, not just in headlines. In August of 2025, Stonebwoy noticed something troubling. Several of his own music videos had mysteriously disappeared from his official YouTube channel. Rather than let it go, he launched his own investigation, and according to court documents, that investigation led him back to someone inside his own camp, a former social media manager named Casey Kobia. Investigators allege that Kobia had secretly been working with an online blogger known as VGMA Africa, paying him to publish deeply personal and derogatory posts about Stonebwoy, his wife, and even his children. Stonebwoy filed a formal complaint. The case was referred to Ghana's Cybercrime Unit, and VGMA Africa was arrested and charged under Ghana's Electronic Communications Act for publishing false news, along with a separate charge for conduct likely to breach the peace. As the case moved through Ghana's courts, public opinion split hard. Some argued Stonebwoy did exactly what any husband and father should do when his family is attacked online, choosing the law instead of retaliating publicly. Others, particularly fans loyal to Shatta Wale's Shatta movement, felt the case looked heavy-handed, accusing Stonebwoy of using his wealth and influence against an ordinary blogger rather than settling it quietly. As of this video, the case is still working its way through court, so nothing has been finally decided either way. Beyond the diss tracks, Stonebwoy has also said plenty in plain, unfiltered interviews about exactly how he feels toward Shatta Wale. In a memorable sit-down on Kumasi's Angel FM at the end of 2024, he didn't hold back, calling him a trickster, declaring he was ready to silence him once and for all, and dismissing any comparison between their careers by pointing to his own 9-time reign as Reggae Dancehall Artist of the Year and his BT Award. Later, in 2026, after the two shared a public hug at a Black Stars World Cup fundraising event, many assumed the rivalry was finally over. Stonebwoy shut that down almost immediately, explaining that a single hug doesn't erase years of disrespect toward his wife and his late mother, and saying plainly that his mother would be disappointed in him if he let it go that easily. In a separate interview, he even pushed back on the idea that he and other artists simply pick on Shatta Wale without reason, arguing instead that it's Shatta Wale's own public behavior that invites the reactions he gets, once stating flatly that Shatta Wale is his own worst enemy. This rivalry has split fans right down two very different lines, and it's worth hearing both sides. Supporters of Shatta movement often argue that Stonebwoy takes things far too personally, that he treats beef as something to genuinely be wounded by instead of understanding it the way Shatta Wale does, as pure entertainment and business. Bhim Nation sees it completely differently, arguing that Stonebwoy is simply a man defending his family's name and his own legacy, and that there's nothing weak about refusing to laugh off real disrespect just to keep the peace. Both sides feel strongly about it, and honestly, there's some truth on each end. Whatever side you land on, the trophy case doesn't lie. A BT Award for Best International Act Africa. 9-time Reggae Dancehall Artist of the Year at the Ghana Music Awards. 2 Billboard plaques. A Grammy plaque for his work on a Grammy-nominated single. A Boomplay Golden Club plaque for crossing 100 million streams. And a catalogue of albums that carried him from an underground rap battle in Ashaiman all the way to sold-out stages in London, Germany, Switzerland, and Jamaica. From an underground rapper battling on Adam FM, to Somini's protege, to the CEO of his own record label, to a BT Award winner, a Billboard chart artist, and one of the most consistent touring acts in African music today, Stonebwoy's journey proves that a single explosive night doesn't have to define an entire career. He has spent the years since building, touring, releasing project after project, and giving back to the community that shaped him. Whether you know him as Stonebwoy, as One God, as the Prince of African Dancehall, or simply as Bhim, one thing is undeniable: the boy from Ashaiman built an entire nation of fans out of nothing but talent, resilience, and rhythm. Now here's a real question for you. Between everything Shatta Wale has built and everything Stonebwoy has built, who do you actually think deserves the title King of African Dancehall? If enough of you want it, we'll put together a full head-to-head achievements video, breaking down both of their careers side by side, so you can decide for yourselves. Drop a comment and let us know. If you're new here and you enjoyed getting the full, real story of Stonebwoy's life, do yourself a favor and subscribe to Magma Decoded right now, because we bring you the untold African stories nobody else is telling, the real ones, not the headlines. And honestly, we need to say this straight: Magma Decoded is still a new channel, and every single subscribe, like, comment, and share genuinely helps us keep telling these stories the right way. Without you, this channel doesn't grow, simple as that. So like this video, drop a comment telling us which part of his story surprised you the most, and stay close, because there's a lot more of this story still to come.